It is Friday, the 4th of November, 2022, and we're looking at the moon and Jupiter through a 400 millimeter Nikkor EDIF lens. We're shooting at f8, 30th of a second, 6400 ISO. The maximum opening on the lens is 5.6, so we're a stop down from the maximum opening. And the moon's totally washed out, as is to be expected if we're trying to expose for the clouds and also trying to get the moons of Venus visible. That's just the way things work. If I expose to see detail in the moon, then the back clouds will be very dark, if not invisible, and while we might see Jupiter, we won't see the moons. So that's that. Jupiter is, somewhat to the right of the moon, above and to the right. Earlier it was directly above the moon. In fact, when it rose, it was even somewhat left of the moon. So it's sort of rotating around the moon, or it appears to be rotating around the moon from a geocentric perspective. So I thought I'd shoot a bit of video. I've already shot a fair number of still photos, but I thought I'd record some video. So this cloud is passing and getting back to clear skies, which quite frankly are less interesting. So I think what we'll do though is we'll let the clouds all pass, and when it's clear sky again, I think I will reduce the ISO to be able to see detail of the surface of the moon. I'm probably going to have to, there's Jupiter, we were on the right there. So I'm going to have to shift the camera a little bit to the right as well. Okay, there we go. All right. So again, we're looking at a 30th of a second, f8, 6400 ISO. So it appears that Jupiter is starting to descend as it moves to the right. It's not rising anymore, so it's pretty well reached the zenith. Not sure about the moon. Anyhow, so we essentially have clear skies now, with maybe a bit of haze, but no real clouds to speak of. So I'm going to shift the camera again to the right a bit, just to keep Jupiter away from the edge of the frame, and then we're going to change the ISO a bit. So that's that. Yeah, Jupiter's pretty well staying in place in terms of height. It's not descending, but it's not rising either. It's, as I said, more or less at the zenith for the time being. Moon's probably in a similar situation. And we're at 6400 ISO, so let's bring it down to 2500, 1000, 400, starting to see a little bit of detail, but not much in the moon. 125, yeah. We're going to have to go right down to base ISO, and even then we might be a bit overexposed. So now at base ISO, we can see Maria, etc. We're at a 30th of a second. I could raise the shutter speed a bit. That would put a bit more detail in it, so let's do that. So there's a 40th. There's a 50th. There's the 60th. So as we can see, Jupiter is getting quite dim, but we're getting more detail in the moon. And I'm just going to shift it again. Shift so the moon is further to the left. And so yeah, Jupiter, as I said, it's staying more or less at the same height in the frame. And I can still see Jupiter, but I doubt the moons are visible. I certainly can't see them on the screen. Plenty of detail in the moon's surface. In fact, at present, the exposure is darker than what I'm seeing with the unaided human eye. With the unaided human eye, the moon is quite bright white. I can see the Maria, but it's definitely brighter than we've got here. So let's lower the shutter speed, 50th. 40th, I should say. So there's some more cloud coming. So as the cloud comes, I think I will boost the ISO. So we're now at a 30th at f8 64 base ISO. So we're going to start raising the ISO. 120, 160, 320, 800. 2,000, 5,000. So we're starting to see the halo around there. Starting to see some cloud coming in. We're going to shift the camera a little. Yeah, so I can see Venus Jupiter is actually getting a bit lower. So it was pretty much at its zenith, and now it's starting to descend. The moon, I'm not sure if it's still rising somewhat, or if it's also zenith. And we can see the cloud coming across here. So 30th of a second, f8, 5,000 ISO. So a little bit below the highest ISO. So yeah, this is quite nice. I think let me take some more stills, but we're going to let some more cloud move across. There's a biggish cloud coming across. So we're going to just let that happen. Some sirens going in the background. Also got the CBC radio in the background there. We might be listening to it. So yeah, here comes the cloud. It looks like a... I wish I had a wider lens, because it looks like this mouth. It's like this monster about to eat the moon. So unfortunately, I'm too tight with the 400 millimeter lens, but it really does look like a monster eating the moon, which may have contributed to beliefs, about monsters eating the moon and the sun during eclipses. So those beliefs definitely existed. And they can come about just in terms of what happens during an eclipse, but it's also entirely possible that this kind of thing contributed to that idea. So I'm seeing a nice halo around the moon. We can see the brownish tinge there. I'm debating if I should change the lenses. I'm just shifting. It does appear that everything's descending somewhat now. I think the moon is starting to descend, and so is Jupiter. And, you know, in an hour or so, Jupiter will be pretty much to the right of the moon, you know, at 3 o'clock position. So, but I did want to get some video of this situation. But yeah, I'd probably be better off shooting at around, I'd say, 200 millimeters in terms of the halo. Yeah, what do we do here? Of course, then the moon gets considerably smaller. And nevertheless, we were looking at this nice halo around the moon, sort of brownish colored halo. I'd say about 1.5 degrees on either side. Oh dear, do I see dirt on my sensor? Crap, I think I do. That's bothersome. I just noticed that. Oh well. These things happen. It might have been in the lens and fell on the sensor because it wasn't there before. So I suspect I'm changing the lens to get some dirt on the sensor, which is bothersome. So I think what we're going to do is use the vibrating cleaning function. Hopefully that'll sort things out, and we'll probably change the lenses while we're at it. So Jupiter there on the right, getting to the edge of the frame, so we'll just readjust a bit first. So maybe that wasn't dirt, I'm not sure. No, maybe it was I'm not certain if they had dirt on the, I don't see it anymore, so maybe it was just a dark part of the cloud, but it looked stationary, whereas the cloud's clearly moving. I don't know what happened there, but I thought I saw dirt. So there's a clear patch, but then there's more cloud coming, and it's thicker cloud, so this could get interesting. It's fairly dense too, like it's not broken up clouds like some of the other clouds were. Oh, I see my battery's not doing well. You got about 7 minutes recording time left. We're just going to keep going here. I'm just going to keep shifting the camera, and we're just going to let the recording continue for as long as it goes, either to the end of the 20-minute clip or to the battery dying at some point. Again, I'm debating what to do in terms of positioning. I'm not doing too badly here, but I could lower the camera a little bit, bringing Jupiter higher in the frame. But for now, I think we'll stick with what we got. Still a bit of space between the moon and the bottom of the frame. I'm seeing a dark streak across the cloud. It has to be a shadow of a vapor trail. So there's an aircraft above the cloud creating a... Oh yeah, and yeah, it's the shadow of a vapor trail. I can now see the vapor trail a good thumb span away. Okay, I see the aircraft. That's quite interesting. So there's a significant difference between where the aircraft and the vapor trail is, and where the shadow's falling on the cloud. So we got almost a little over 5 minutes of recording time left here. I'm going to probably shift the camera in a little bit just to keep Jupiter from getting too far, too close to the edge of the frame there. but it's not too bad. I gave some thought to following the aircraft with the camera, go and find it, but I decided to leave well enough alone. We'll stick to what we're doing here. So yeah, a little bit of scalloping in the clouds there, but that's going to change. So yeah, I think I will just shift things a little. And I'm trying to figure out what to do here in terms